The case of the first officer to be tried in the death of Freddie Gray is now in the hands of the jury. It's possible a verdict could come down as early as today. Attorney Kurt Notman with Ian Lawyers has been observing the case. Joins us this morning with a look at what's happening during this deliberation process. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
All right, so they began deliberations yesterday for about 3 hours. Back at it today in about an hour from now. Any chance this could happen today?
We could see a verdict as early as today.
Is that likely?
Probably not.
Okay.
I would think with a case of this length and this complexity, you would at least have another day or so of deliberations. I would not be surprised if we had a verdict tomorrow. But the general rule is if the jury can't disagree, judges will allow, say, a day of deliberation for each day of testimony. But we'll have to see.
All right, let's talk about what the judge told them. And even in some of the closing arguments, defense says that the prosecutors failed to reach the legal threshold, and this can't be a decision based on your morality. And even the judge went in and said in the jury instructions, you know, this can't be about how you feel. How difficult, though, is that for a juror to separate those things? Well,
and I'm not sure whether or not Judge Williams did this, but a lot of the judges will provide the written legal instructions with the standards in terms of the second-degree assault, the involuntary manslaughter, and the misconduct in office. And this is what the state has to prove beyond a reasonable doubt, each and every element of each and every crime that's charged. And it's the jury's job to sift through the elements of the crime and compare it with the facts that have been presented to make a determination as to whether or not the standard's been met.
The jury asked for a few things when they were going into deliberation. They wanted a definition of terms in the jury instruction for evil motive and bad faith. The judge said, I can't give you anything beyond what you have. They also asked for transcripts of police dispatcher tapes and the police interview with Officer Porter, which they were not given. But what does that tell you, if anything?
It tells me that they're thinking and that they're actually considering the evidence in the appropriate standard. I think questions like that from both the defense and the prosecution side are good because it means the jury is talking about what the actual legal issues are as opposed to whatever emotional issues, as you pointed out, Judge Williams cautioned them against.
You heard such different testimony. I mean, expert witnesses on both sides said conflicting things. The defense said, you know, nobody buckles people in. It's just, you know, it's not. He wasn't being bad to not do that. The prosecution said he knew that he needed help and did not get it for him. So does it, in the end, come down to who the jury believes more?
Absolutely.
Because it's, I mean,
absolutely. The judge will give an instruction that says you can believe some, all, or none of the testimony that you've heard. That's the same whether it's layperson or an expert witness on whichever side you deem is appropriate. So the jury is there. They have the opportunity to judge the credibility, and they get what's called a credibility instruction. In other words, watch the person's body language, watch how they talk, watch how they react under cross-examination. You know, it's sort of interpersonal skills that you normally have an opportunity to view in real life, but, you know, when you're on a jury, you have to put those skills to use in judging someone's credibility.
And in the commercial we were talking about it, you said it can get heated. Spirited debate is how you called it.
Spirited, yeah. I mean, I like to, I've definitely heard some people yelling through jury room doors in my experience, but you know, it's kind of like Christmas dinner when you start talking about politics. And
everybody gets loud.
Does anybody agree on that?
It'll be interesting. All right, well, I'm sure we'll have you back in here several more times. This continues to unfold. But this all brings us to our question of the day. What do you think the outcome of the trial will be? We know our viewers have been following it, and everybody has opinions. We'll take your calls about that a little later this hour. In the meantime, though, you can go to our website, foxbaltimore.com. Tell us what you think. You can sound off on Facebook, or you can send us a tweet at Fox Baltimore. Also to come, we do have live team coverage all morning of the trial and a protest that is scheduled